like to call to order the meeting of the Oak Ridge Board of Education. Would you please rise as the Oak Ridge High School Navy Junior ROTC Wildcat Company presents our colors, and then I will lead you in the pledge to the flag.
Left. Face. Carry. Colors. Present. Colors.
Attention, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready. 2. Order. Colors. Right. Face. Forward. March.
You may be seated. I don't have to get that going right. I thought there was a shorter flight still. Tonight, our beginning program is going to be presented by Oak Ridge High School Student Council. I'd like to introduce Ms. Ashley Wagner, who is among other things, she is the sponsor of the Oak Ridge High School Student Council, and she's going to tell us about our program.
Hi, everybody. As you said, my name is Ashley Wagner. I'm really pleased for the opportunity to speak before you tonight. A large part of what Student Council does at Oak Ridge High School is run, managed, executed, logistically planned by the students. So we really thought that it would be best if you hear from our executive board this evening. So if you guys want to come on up. The president this year, and they've just closed out, it's completely breaking my heart that 3 of these 4 graduated on Friday. Megan Reeser is our president. Caitlin Adams is the vice president. Brady Fusen is the treasurer, and Brooke Kazire is the secretary. And they're going to tell you a little bit about what they were able to accomplish from July of last year when they took office all the way through even just last Friday.
Good evening. Like Ms. Wagner said, I was vice president. My name is Caitlin Adams, and I wanted to start by talking about the clubs that Student Council helps out with. So part of Student Council is getting to approve all the different clubs. So anybody at our school can apply to make a club as long as they have a sponsor. And every Thursday when we meet, we'll vote if we want to allow that to be a club or not. And then if we vote yes, it gets sent to Ms. Estep, and then she'll send it to the school board if she approves of it. And then once they become a club, we're able to support them in fundraising. So we make a lot of different fundraising opportunities, like the flea market and basketball and football concessions. This year we had a lot of activity with those. The flea market was almost always booked by a club, and if not, we would run it. And then some of the most popular clubs this year that liked using it was Prom Board to fundraise for prom, and then the 24 and 25 class presidencies to raise money for all their different events. So yeah, we love getting to do work with clubs. And this year we started a new project where we made Instagram posts for every single club, and then that corresponded with our club hub that we made on the Wildcat Canvas page that every student has access to, so they could see the different teacher sponsors, the times that clubs meet, and what the club's goals are, so that everybody knows more what clubs our school has. Thank you.
Hello, I am Brooke Kazire, and I was the Student Council Secretary this past school year. And another big project that we've done as a Student Council was work on the school beautification project. It was like a big thing, and it started off with us painting the bathroom stalls of some of the girls' bathrooms, which already created a lot of encouragement from the students from what we heard during all of our Student Council meetings. Was because it was replacing the graffiti that originally was there. And then from then, we branched out, and then we created different murals. As of now, we have 3. We have one outside of the library, the bus loop, which students get to see when they come into school every day. And then also our past one. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. And our past one, we painted over spring break as a surprise to the science teachers, actually. And it was our science mural with all of a combination of biology and life science. And that was also really well received by both students and teachers. And another thing that we've been working on is painting the columns of the English hallway. Per the teacher's request, we choose different books, and that has been done from student council, so students have been the ones painting it. And that, I think, is the most well-received, even though they all are, but all of the students have loved that one so much because that is everywhere along the hallway, and has brought so much color and life. And in all of our school-wide meetings, that is something that has been very well received, and everyone has really liked it, and the teachers love it. And what brings so much joy to my heart is new students coming in like, oh, where's Mr. Foyer's class? And then another student, oh, it's by the Good Earth column. And it's just been such a fun thing to see grow. And lastly, one of our big fundraisers is the parking lots, where we had over 150 students participate, where they come up with their own designs for their parking lots. This year was juniors and seniors, and this year's juniors can choose to carry that parking spot over to their senior year. And we partnered up with Senior Steering for that as well. And from there, we get to fund all of the senior events throughout the school year. And that encouraged a lot of creativity amongst non-student council members. And it was very wonderful, and it was great to see. And it was also something that you could see just driving past the school, so you don't even have to be present within the school. And another thing about the columns is that a lot of clubs have joined in, not just student council. So Spanish club and French club, along their Spanish and French classrooms, they've started painting. So I think it's something that's grown and been well received by all the students. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan Reeser. I was the president of Student Council, and I get to go over all the fun events that we did, which is a lot, so bear with me. So to start out the year, I spoke at freshman orientation, so we just got to help with that and show new freshmen around the school. And then we had the back-to-school teacher luncheon, which Caitlin got to speak at, and we got food there and just got to appreciate all of our teachers. And then we had I don't really know order, it might have been parking spot painting first, where, as Kizzy talked about, we had a bunch of students that were able to come and create their own parking spot and raised a bunch of money doing that. And then we had the 9/11 Memorial, which is a super sweet tradition that the school has. Brady and Kizzy both spoke at that. And we invite all of the first responders from around town to come, and it's just a sweet thing that we can do to remember. And then some other events, we have Homecoming Week. So that is a lot. It's one of my favorite things, though, because it's just up and going all the time. So something we do with that is themes, Spirit Week themes. And so this year we did it a little bit differently, where we all came up with what outfits we wanted or whatever, and then we put them in a Google form and sent them out to the school so that they could tell us their opinions on it. And so then we took the top, the ones with the most votes on it, and chose those as our themes. And then another thing that goes along with Homecoming Week is the Homecoming Court. So people are nominated, and they get to run for either Homecoming King or Queen, and we have a lunch with them and their parents, and it's super fun and super sweet. And then finally the big pep rally, which is a lot of chaos, but in the best way possible. We play different games and have different relays, and we all work together during our Thursday meetings to come up with what games and what events we want to have, and everyone gets to give all their crazy fun new ideas. And this is where we really just to boost the school morale and just get everyone really excited for the football game. And then another thing, more events. New this year, we had a hoedown, and so it was a new thing, so it wasn't super big. Hopefully something they carry on, but it was really fun. We did line dancing. We got to make our own little playlist with that. Students just came, and it was $5 a ticket, and we got to just all hang out, and there was a fire pit, and we roasted marshmallows. It was super cute. And the picture, Caitlin and Steven, we had Southern Sips come. Like, it was just a lot of fun, just positive things for all the students to hang out. And then also another dance, we have Winter Formal. So all the money there goes to Second Harvest, all the money that we raise for that. And we also do a snow court for that, kind of just like homecoming court, where you can run for Snow King and Snow Queen, and we do that at the DoubleTree, and it's been so fun because it's been a tradition for a long time. We get to do all the decorations, we get to just hang out as a group and really just be together for a while. And then finally we had Powder Puff not that long ago. That one is super fun. It's when girls get to play football, and it's really entertaining. And we get to make all of our fun little like jerseys and stuff for that too. That's my favorite part personally. And it just is another way that we bring students together throughout the school, and the money from that also goes to Second Harvest. So yeah, I think those are kind of the main big events that we put on. Thanks.
Hello, my name's Brady, and I was the student council treasurer this year, and I'll be the president next year. So I am presenting student advocacy, and so our first thing is we have quarterly wide meetings where all fourth period students come and we discuss topics that are concerns within our school. So we have forms that our student council members fill out, and those forms then will go to us, and we review them, and those issues will go to our principal or Miss Estep, all of those. And we also talk to you guys in front of me, and that's a super fun thing that we do. So we do that twice a year, and we get to discuss concerns that are more prominent, but we usually don't have that many concerns because you guys do such a great job. So so we just get to focus on like advertising and things like that. So that's super cool. And yeah, I think that's about it.
So as you can see, these are very busy students. Our structure is that we have about 15 sophomores that meet in my lunch study hall every day, and then about 20 upperclassmen that come every Thursday during their entire lunch, so they're giving up that precious off-campus. And then these 4 executives who are doing the bulk of that work. So we really appreciate you listening out to everything that we've been doing. They are on a mission to make Oak Ridge High School and the Oak Ridge community a better place, and they're absolutely fulfilling it. Of course, things like the homecoming court and pep rallies and the flea market have existed long before this group was here, but I can definitely say that they have elevated everything that they've done, and then each new thing that they've done has either been a wild success or a great learning experience, because that's the type of group that they are. So thank you very much.
How about you all coming, all of you, back over here to the microphone? I wish y'all were a little more enthusiastic. I can tell why you're successful, and those of you who are recent graduates, congratulations to you. Hope that whatever lies ahead for you, you're successful. I have a feeling you will be. And thank you on behalf of the board for making Oak Ridge High School a better place for our students. And golly, all the activities, and we always said, obviously, as you mentioned, we see the clubs that you recommend that come through here, but all the activities that you have, if you're a student at Oak Ridge High School, if you can't find something to do, something's wrong, because there's a lot going on. And we appreciate that as a board. And if you would, join me in thanking them for what they do for Oak Ridge High School. Thank you all. Next is the approval of the agenda. Do I hear a motion? Motion made by Ms. McLean, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Are there additions or corrections to the agenda? And there are. I would like to add as item A, the second reading of the Oak Ridge Schools 2025 budget. And we would vote on that as an amendment and then vote on the agenda as it's a whole. So I would make the motion to add that, and I would need a second to do so, seconded by Ms. Agle. Any questions or discussions? Then those who approve adding as item A, the second reading of our budget signify. Am I confusing you completely back there, Melissa? Do you want to do that online, or you want us to do it by voice? Those in favor of approving the addition of item A signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now, those approving the agenda as amended, please cast your vote. The agenda is approved unanimously. Next, we move to special reports and presentations. The first item is our good news. And Dr. Hartman, we'll start with you.
All right. I have the fortune of reporting good news from Glenwood. And Glenwood is excited to share that we have secured a number of grants during the spring season. A huge thanks to Amelia Bell and Jeannie Phillips for their grant writing expertise. There's a UCOR grant for $1,000 that was awarded to the Glenwood Library. And the Oak Ridge Public Schools Education Foundation grant for $4,000 was awarded to all 4 elementary schools to support summer learning. Lunch for Literacy grant in the amount of $3,000 was awarded to support summer reading. And the TVA provided a $3,500 grant for 3D printing. These grants will continue to help support student learning. Congratulations, everyone at Glenwood.
Ms. Webb.
I've got lots of fun things from Willowbrook. Third grade students, and there's a lot of names, so I apologize if I don't pronounce them correctly. Third grade students Grace Manuel, Ezra Villejas Castro, and Arya Crandall, also known as the Sunshine Bears, were awarded the Blue Sky Award for Innovation in the Tennessee STEM Innovation Network Statewide Design Challenge. The Green Recycling Team at Willowbrook picks up recyclables every Wednesday. They started their project 2 weeks ago and have already collected more than 200 pounds of recycling. A big thank you to Ms. Maraska for guiding the team. A huge shout out to Robertsville Middle School cheer team Robertsville Middle School cheer team who visited Willowbrook each morning of testing to cheer on the students as they arrived at school during TCAP weeks. Second grade students recently hosted a capstone project as part of our Portrait of a Graduate focusing on careers. During the project, we had special guests, including Oak Ridge teacher, an author, a judge, train conductor, our SRO officer Rob, and a beekeeper. Students had the opportunity to discover more about these various professions, ask questions, and gain valuable knowledge. And the following students had their art included in the Through the Visions of Children art show at the Oak Ridge Public Library. Tristan Crosby, Freya Spilling, Cash Hicks, Eleanor LaRose, Amelia Estrada, Gracie Vaught, Lauren Martinez, Lydia Venters, Ezra Villejas Castro, Molly Burge, Zoe Sibley, Amelia Toole, Lily Tingle, Gabby Rivas, Ella Rust, Jesus Vega, Levi Scholl, Angelil Amaya Avelis, Anve Fowler, and Max Belverde. And that's good news from Willowbrook.
Ms. McLean.
Okay, I have good news from Jefferson. JMS recognized 26 5th through 8th grade students who displayed outstanding physical fitness by achieving scores. By achieving scores at or above the 85th percentile on all fitness tests. These students were honored with a Gold Fitness Star. Additionally, 78 more students demonstrated exceptional physical fitness by scoring at or above the 50th percentile on all tests and were awarded a Silver Fitness Star. The fitness tests include the mile run, the pacer run, the shuttle run, I remember that one, sit and reach test, pull up chin-up test, flexed arm hang, and the sit-up tests. Whew. Okay, earlier this year, Jefferson students, I'm sorry, our computers have a mind of their own. Earlier this year, Jefferson students in the Geography and Geospatial Technologies class took part in the Tennessee Student Mapping Competition. Among the top 5 achievers were Dawson Watson's Car Crashes in Tennessee map and Brooke Taylor's Tennessee's Carbon Contribution map. Elijah Wolves won first position this year in his map entitled Unemployment and Health in Tennessee. His outstanding map has earned him a spot in the National Student Mapping Competition. Best of luck, Eli. And that's just some of the good news from Jefferson.
Ms. Agel.
From Robertsville Middle School, Robertsville hosted a community STEAM night on May 2nd. The event was a huge hit, attracting hundreds of attendees who enjoyed a wide range of engaging activities and exhibits. From DNL Land Surveying's interactive displays of drones and 3D scanners to UTK's fascinating showcases in entomology, plant pathology, and earth sciences, there was something for everyone. Booths from UCOR, ORISE, ORAL, and the Tennessee College of Applied Technology added depth to this experience, while hands-on learning with Frozen Head State Park, TWRA, the National Park System, and the American Museum of Science and Energy ignited curiosity. Partner Mrs. Sluss with her mosquito research crew, CNS, ORHS medical and STEM students, and the Anderson County Health Department brought real-world applications to life. The event also featured engaging activities from RMS Technology Student Association, RMS Band, Orchestra, and Art Department, with Dr. Kinder McMillan's green screen and the Ortex tech demos adding a futuristic touch. ORNL's Neutron and X-ray Scattering Group, UTK's Electron Microscopy Core, and NASA RAMSAT showcased cutting-edge research, making it an unforgettable evening of exploration and discovery. Well, and now The evening was topped off with the excitement of Principal Nick Corrigan being dunked by students in the PTSA's fundraising dunk booth over 30 times. It might have been a little chilly for that day. A heartfelt thank you to RMS PTSA for making this event possible.
My good news comes from Oak Ridge High School. The WIDA Access 2024 results have been received in the DRC Ames portal for our district. Oak Ridge High School is thrilled to announce that 9 of our English learner students have attained the necessary score to exit and move to transition status, no longer requiring district EL services. 5 additional English learners came within 1/10 or 2/10 of a point from exit. These students will be able to have tailored instruction. Oak Ridge High School has not had 9 students meet exit criteria in one school year during the last decade. Oak Ridge Schools will have an official celebration for students meeting exit criteria and showing tremendous growth at the end of the month. Students will be honored for their commitment to growth and achievement. Coming up a little bit later on in the agenda are 2 items we'll be dealing with, but we'll go ahead and offer congratulations to our baseball team, who is headed to the state tournament this week, I believe, and members of our Oak Ridge High School track team, who are also headed to the state tournament. And I apologize for not having the names of these 2 individuals, but I thought it was important to also mention the maskers, as in competition at the Tennessee Theater recently, the play Anastasia was recognized among all high schools in this area as the top play of the year. And 2 students, the lead actress and actor in that play, were selected as the top in each of those categories, and the two of them receive an all-expense-paid trip to New York for additional training for a week. So that's got to be exciting, and I apologize for not knowing the names of those two students, but congratulations to them. And as we finish out the year, our good news will not stop, but it may taper off just a little bit over the next couple of months, but there'll still be a lot of good things going on in our school district. So moving to the next item, Dr. Borchers, I'll turn to you for the next one.
All right. This evening we have Mrs. Judy Gooch, who needs no introduction, has many roles in our community, but tonight is here as president of the Altrusa Club of Oak Ridge to talk to us about Boost for Books.
Boost for Books. So you won't forget, I brought our little graphic here. Can you get it to? I do want to say that Megan Lingerfeld, who created the beautiful murals around Oak Ridge on the Rowing Center and on the ORNL building.
Pull that microphone down just, there you go, thank you.
Yeah. She did our graphic for us, and we were so proud of it, and it's just beautiful. I did want to mention we have 4 members on our committee, and myself, Judy Wilson, who's here tonight. Judy, stand up. Thank you. Terry Daughtery, who can't be here tonight, Jan Melcher, and myself. And we have worked really hard to secure some grant money this year that we're going to be able to launch our Boost for Books with. I also want to mention that Laura McLean on your board is an Altrusa member, and Donna Smith, who's representing the newspaper back here, is an Altrusa member. So we're very proud of all the good things that Altrusa does. I've been president this year. I'm president for 1 more week. And then moving on to somebody else. But I've been glad to be a part of this particular effort that we have worked on for about the past 9 months. As you all are aware, Altrusa has had a long history of doing literacy projects in our community. We partner, as it was referenced, our Lunch for Literacy. We partner with Breakfast Rotary. I think we've been doing that for over 25 years. This year, the total raised was cleared after all the bills were paid was $38,000, and that will fund the grants that teachers and nonprofits apply for next year. They will be awarded next year. But tonight, I wanted to tell you about this new project that we have launched called Boost for Books. And tell you why we have come up with this. When we began to read about what we could do for literacy and realized that this 3rd grade retention law that got put into got passed from the state legislature either last year or the year before, it requires, of course, as you all know this, all students to pass this 3rd grade reading exam, or else they don't move to 4th grade. And so we thought, let's focus on that K through 3 age group and support the teachers by seeing if they all have classroom libraries in their classes K through 3, even though they probably occasionally go to the school library. But those classroom libraries are so important, and they send books home with the students as well as use those in their curriculum. So I want to particularly recognize Jennifer Laurendine, principal at Willowbrook. I went to her and asked her if she could give me some background data so that we would be able to send off statistics with this international Altrusa grant that we were applying for. And she was unbelievably helpful. She gave us so much data that we could use to validate why this would be a really good thing for them to fund. So we did get $2,333 from the International Altrusa. We've got $1,500 from our local foundation club. We've had our members have donated over $1,300. So we've ended up with about $5,000 plus now that we can initially use to buy books for all of our classrooms. So what we did is a couple of weeks ago, we sent out a letter to all the principals and told them that we were getting grant money, and would they please ask their teachers to use the recommended list from the Office of Teaching and Learning, which is wonderful. Every grade level has K through 5, actually, but we're just focusing on K through 3. There are between 125 to 150 titles that they have recommended because they support the curriculum that's being taught all during the year. So we asked the teachers to use these lists to choose from. So they have been rolling in with their list. It has been wonderful. And we've asked them to try to have those lists to us by the end of May, and then we will have a wealth of committee people that will be getting together over the next few weeks and sorting the list and figuring out how many Charlotte's Webs we need to buy and how many, things about tools, and they're just, a wonderful wide range of great topics. And we'll be totaling those up, and we'll be making our list to purchase. Now, the other exciting thing that I want to tell you about is I went to talk with Books A Million this last week, and their store manager was very excited and working with us. And so they said, yes, we've had other organizations. There's even an Altrusa Club in Portland, Maine that has done something similar. And they've actually gotten their Books A Million to create a whole bookshelf that's up near the checkout. And as people check out from buying what they've bought in Books A Million, there'll be a sign that says, buy a book for Oak Ridge K through 3 students. Price range $5 to $10 or whatever they'll be. And so they said, we'll do that here. So we have given them the list. They're going through their computer system right now to find out how many they already have within their system. And then they will be helping us buy books at a deep discount. Particularly ones that are over $25 in quantity. They said that we can help tremendously. We do have a 501c3 ability to not pay tax. So this is really going to be a great partnership. And so I'll be working with Donna Smith and the Oak Ridger and getting out information about how the community can go buy Books A Million. And if they're buying something else there, buy a book or just buy one for the grades will be fine. Now, the $5,000 we've got may not buy every book that every teacher wants, but it'll buy an initial bunch of them, and we'll try to spread it out as evenly as we can between the schools. We have another $3,000 that our foundation can begin to put in after July because our fiscal year will end in June, at the end of June. And then we will just keep doing this until the teachers say, we don't need any more of those books. So we think it's going to be a perpetual thing. We think it's wonderful. And before I sit down, I want to share you a couple of comments that we have gotten from the teachers that have been so excited. First day we sent this out, Principal Virginia Bowles, she's obviously not a teacher, but she's the principal. The response I got was, wow, this is incredible. What an amazing gift for our teachers and students. Another, Michelle Chenot, I guess is how it's pronounced, from Willowbrook, said, thank you so much for promoting literacy, and thank you for supporting us. It means so much to know that our community supports us. Another teacher said, I'm very appreciative of your support to help promote a love of reading and a strong literacy foundation. The children will love these books. Your support is greatly appreciated. And it goes on with several others. But I just want to say thank you. We hope that you all will buy a book sometime this summer and support. And I did want to show you that we've had these laminated for all of the teacher classrooms. Everyone in K through 3 will have this put up in their classroom, hopefully where it's visible, maybe to the outside if they have that kind of a window. And it'll stay up as long as, they're willing to let us continue to do boost for books for them. So thank you for letting me share this. We wanted you to tell us our good news too, so thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank your committee and Altrusa for your commitment to do this. Laura just leaned over to me a minute ago when you said, we hope this will go on until teachers say we don't need any more books. Good luck with that. That's not going to happen.
It's okay. We have perpetual projects that go on for years because they're needed. So
thank you. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Ms. McLean has helped, or Dr. Hartman has helped me out here. Thank you. we'll back up when I was talking about the Masquer's production. The outstanding lead actress was Nora Younger, who played Lily in Anastasia, and the outstanding lead actor was Max Mishler, who played Dmitri in Anastasia. So that's just a great accomplishment. And again, it just shows the good things and the accomplishments and achievements from A to Z that are taking place across our school district. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. So next, we move to the Oak Ridge School Student Recognition Award. You remember us talking some time ago about our recognition of our Volunteer of the Year that we selected, and that person is sent on to TSBA, hopefully for additional recognition. Well, there's another category, and that category is the student recognition for our Student of the Year. This student is required to be a junior at Oak Ridge High School, because this award doesn't officially take place and it's not presented until the Leadership Conference and Convention of TSBA in November. So, with that being said, I would like Miss Lily Shelton, and her parents, I think, are here as well, to please come forward to the podium at this time. And Mr. Drayton Hawkins, principal of Oak Ridge High School, to please come forward. The certificate that we're going to present to you says, this certificate is presented to Lily Shelton for your outstanding achievements that reflect your superior dedication and persistence. Your outstanding performance is truly making a difference. Keep going. And Mr. Hawkins, you want to say a few more words?
Yes, sir. So what I'll say about Lily is, I think you said well-rounded academically, all those things. So all those things describe exactly who Lily is. One thing I like about her is she's not scared to try something. You know, at the beginning when I first met her, I think you were playing volleyball. Decided this year you want to play tennis. So, you know, just not scared to try anything. She's just a all-around good human being. And so, you know, you can't always say that about everybody in the world, but you can say that about her. I have a son that's a junior. And so the person that she is, I wouldn't think of a better candidate than her, not even including him, because I live with him. So congratulations to Lily and her parents for the job that they have done with her. And she is a great representative of Oak Ridge Schools and Oak Ridge High School.
And Lily will now go on. She will be receiving additional information from Tennessee School Board Association, and our hope is that she will be selected as the East District Student of the Year. And then if she makes it, when she makes it there, she will then go on to the convention and leadership conference in Nashville, and there'll be 9 other students in that category, and then she will be selected as the State Student of the Year. No pressure on you at all. Just, you know, we just have great visions of things for you to come. Please help me congratulate her as our Student of the Year. Well, the next item on the agenda is one that we personally don't look forward to, but those who are going to come before us tonight are probably greatly looking forward to it as we recognize our Oak Ridge Schools retirees. Dr. Borchers will be making some comments about each of them, but as our retirees find their way to the finish line with the Oak Ridge School, so to speak, we lose a lot because each of these individuals and those who are not here tonight have made a commitment of dedication and responsibility to the students who they have worked with. And they are the ones who give great credit to the success of the Oak Ridge Schools. So, Dr. Borchers?
As you said, Mr. Chairman, we have several staff members who are retiring from the Oak Ridge Schools this year, and while we miss them next year, we are so grateful for their incredible service to the Oak Ridge Schools. Joining us tonight are 5 outstanding staff members, and I'm excited to recognize their service. Retirees, I ask that you come forward to the podium as I call your name and remain at the front for the presentation. Mr. Phil Auer, Board Chair, will make a presentation on behalf of the Oak Ridge Schools, and Mark Carvella, President of OREA, will make a presentation on behalf of the association for their members. Some staff members prefer not to be recognized publicly at the meeting tonight. We'll honor that request by extending our most sincere appreciations for their dedication from afar. So without further ado, our first retiree tonight is Kimberly Cox. Ms. Cox began her career in 1991, amassing 30 years of teaching experience. Before coming to Oak Ridge Schools, Kim taught special education in 7th grade for Anderson County Schools. Kim joined Oak Ridge Schools in July of 2009 as a preschool teacher and has remained at the preschool for the past 15 years. Kim has appreciated the opportunity to serve the students, families, and the community, and credits her ability to be the best teacher to the many wonderful and talented colleagues she is surrounded by. Kim enjoyed working for Principal Downard because of her leadership skills, which created an amazing work environment where students are always first. Kim always encouraged and supported her students through innovative events and activities, from tea parties to visits from Mr. and Mrs. Claus. There was never a dull moment in Mrs. Cox's classroom. Kim hopes to settle into retirement life through babysitting grandchildren, with her first grandbaby, Eloise, arriving mid-June. When not on baby Eloise duties, you can find Kim working part-time from Oldham Hospitality in Townsend and volunteering at the Heritage Center in Townsend. Additionally, Kim would like to thank Dr. Borchers and the school board members for all their support in leading such an excellent school district. Kim has been blessed and appreciates Oak Ridge Schools for allowing her the privilege to teach here. So let's thank Mrs. Cox. All right, next up, we have Ellie Murphy-Racy. Ellie began her teaching career with the Oak Ridge Schools in 2012 and has spent 34 years teaching 1st and 2nd grade in Oak Ridge and Knox County schools. During Ellie's teaching career, she was voted the Teacher of the Year in 2000 and 2010. She was an alum of the Knoxville Chamber Partnership Leadership Education Program, member of the Glenwood Leadership Team from 2013 to 2024, and published an article in the Journal of Curriculum and Instruction entitled Increasing Fluency in First Graders, Practice Makes Perfect, or at least Better, in 2007, which led her to present at the International Reading Association in Toronto, Canada that same year. Ellie will begin her retirement by becoming a grandmother in September and plans to spend as much time as possible with her new grandbaby and 95-year-old mother in Arizona. Mostly, Ellie plans to enjoy, and that's in caps, every minute of retirement. According to Ellie, teaching in the Oak Ridge Schools has been the highlight of her career. Let's thank Ellie. Next, we have Sherry Bath. Ms. Bath began her career with the Oak Ridge Schools in 1988 at Willowbrook Elementary. During her 36 years, Sherry worked as the secretary of the school counselor, registrar, and spent 24 years as administrative assistant and bookkeeper. Sherry's career at Willowbrook has been an amazing part of her life. She had the honor of working with 6 extraordinary principals, an interim principal, 2 amazing school counselors, and the hardest working staff you'll ever find. Sherry has been blessed to be able to serve the staff, students, and families at Willowbrook Elementary. Sherry plans to live the rest of her life to the fullest, again in caps, enjoying family, friends, and traveling. Sherry would like to thank the Board of Education, Administration, the Human Resources Department, the Business Office, and her Willowbrook family for the overwhelming love, support, and prayers during this year. In her words, I'm truly blessed. Let's thank Sherry. right, up next is Meg Evans. Miss Evans has 45 years as a pediatric nurse, completing her BSN at Vanderbilt University and working for Oak Ridge Schools for 20 years. She began her career with Oak Ridge Schools in 2004 at Robertsville Middle School. Meg worked for 18 months at Methodist Medical Center in the newborn nursery before moving to the Oak Ridge Pediatric Clinic. Then, when her own child was about to enter Robertsville Middle School, a school nurse position opened, she interviewed and accepted the job. According to Meg, it has been an honor to be a part of the Rams family for the past 20 years. During her tenure at Robertsville Middle School, she has traveled on the 6th grade Tremont trip, many orchestra trips, the 8th grade Williamsburg trip, and experienced the 2017 eclipse here in Oak Ridge. She's made many friends. In retirement, Meg plans to continue her work at the Oak Ridge Pediatric Clinic and in her private consultation business, while spending more time with family and friends. She is excited to be able to give more attention to her involvement in her church and is thankful for the opportunity to work in the Oak Ridge schools. Let's thank Meg. We had one more. It was going to be Miss Circe New, but I think I'm just going to read that just because she deserves that. Miss New began working for Oak Ridge Schools in 1975 and has spent her 37 years working in various grade level jobs at Robertsville Middle School. One of the highlights of Circe's career has been seeing many students to go find great success in many walks of life. She spent 10 years coaching cheer at RMS and has enjoyed seeing the successful careers that they have accomplished. She's still in contact with many of those students today. In her retirement, Circe plans to relax and enjoy spending time with her family and friends. Her final words, once a ram, always a ram. So let's thank Circe, even though she's not.
If I could get those retirees to stand up one more time, let's thank them again. Next on the agenda is the public forum. The public forum is for anyone who would like to address a topic that is not on the agenda. You may address a topic that is on the agenda when it is presented. Please raise your hand if you wish to be recognized. If you choose to address the board, you will have 3 minutes to speak. The board may or may not respond to your comments or may have the superintendent address your concerns. When you speak, please come to the podium and sign in, and then state your name and address for the board. Once you do that, then your 3 minutes will begin. Is there anyone who wishes to address?
Good evening. My name is Annette Springer, and I'm a 5th grader at Jefferson Middle. I think the dress code is a little unreasonable. I think we should be allowed to wear tank tops, muscle shirts, and spaghetti strap tops. In the dress code, it states, clothing which allows underwear to be exposed. Examples include, but are not limited to, sagging pants, tank tops, spaghetti straps, tops, muscle shirts, etc. This states that the reason we cannot wear these things is because they will show our undergarments. But I disagree with this because there are many tank tops, muscle shirts, etc. that do not show any undergarments. Also, we start school in the middle of July and it's pretty hot out then, and it would be much nicer to be able to wear clothes that are much more comfortable in hotter weather. Another clothing item I think we should be allowed to wear to school are shorts that are shorter than mid-thigh. In the dress code it states mid-thigh is the appropriate length for shorts, skirts, and dresses. However, it should not take much effort to buy shorts, but with the dress code it makes it difficult to find shorts that kids can wear to school. One example of an outfit I think we should be allowed to wear to school is what I'm wearing today. I like this outfit because it is movable, cool temperature-wise, and comfortable. In conclusion, I hope you will consider relaxing the dress code so students can wear tank tops and shorter shirts to be more comfortable in hotter months.
Thank you. One of the things I will tell you is that each school and the Board of Education each year We do review our student handbook, of which that is a part of, so we thank you for those comments.
Thank you.
Seeing no one else, we'll move to the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion. Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. McLean. Please cast your vote. Consent agenda is approved unanimously. We now move to items for action. Item A is a second reading of the FY25 budget. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the FY25 budget.
Refer to the superintendent's recommendation. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion made by Ms. Agel, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Dr. Borchers?
Just to review, and we've had a long month here of budget with May, but just for the public, we started this month on May 6th at a 5 o'clock special meeting with a joint session with the City Council to present the budget. We had a May 13th where we went line by line and then had the first reading, and we're now here tonight for second reading, and if it's approved tonight, it'll be transmitted to the city tomorrow.
Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, please cast your vote. The budget is adopted unanimously. Item B is budget transfer number 3. This is a first reading. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the budget transfer number 3.
Per the superintendent's recommendation, do I hear a motion? Motion made by Dr. Hartman, seconded by Ms. Webb. Dr. Borchers.
This transfer includes funds for furniture purchases, student device cases, and multiple maintenance projects, end-of-year realignment of cafeteria funds, adjustment of grant budgets due to allocation changes and program needs, establishes a summer learning camp and summer learning transportation grant, and then just some routine transfers and revisions.
Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item C is a second reading, FY24 budget amendment number 3. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of FY24 budget amendment number 3, second reading.
Per the superintendent's recommendation, do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion made by Ms. Agel, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Dr. Borchers.
As a reminder, we did this to establish a budget for the grant contingency for the summer learning grant that was higher than anticipated.
Comments or questions? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item D, FY24 Summer Learning Camps Grant. We've got a number of grants on here, and we deal with a number of grants throughout the year. Ms. McLean totaled up the amount of just the grants on this agenda. Go ahead.
Had to use a calculator for this one. $3,422,000.
That's amazing.
Significant.
And again, just on this agenda, that amount. So the work that we do looking for, finding grants and keeping grants is a major plus to the things that we can do within our district. So, Dr. Borchers, Summer Learning Camps Grant.
Now, I recommend approval of the FY24 Summer Learning Camps Grant.
Per the superintendent's recommendation, do I hear a motion? Motion made by Ms. McLean, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Dr. Borchers.
And as the board can see, it's going to outline there what this will fund. The learning camps is around $511,000, and the transportation is around $92,000.
Comments or questions? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item E, FY24 preschool Head Start self-assessment. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the FY24 preschool Head Start self-assessment.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I hear a motion? Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. McLean. Dr. Borchers.
As the board knows, there's a Head Start requirement in which a team of preschool staff, parents, and community partners closely evaluate each service area for the program. Within each service area, strengths and other areas to be strengthened are identified. The team then identifies areas of which to focus as priority items. These are the areas in which funding will be an area of focus. The self-assessment and the community assessment are two primary documents that drive the spending and budget development.
Comments or questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item F, FY25 Perkins Basic Grant. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the FY25 Perkins Basic Grant.
Per the superintendent's recommendation, do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion made by Ms. Agel, seconded by Ms. McLean. Dr. Borchers.
This is an annual non-competitive grant, and projected amount is $75,299.54.
Comments or questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item G, FY25 Perkins Reserve Grant. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the FY25 Perkins Reserve Grant.
For the superintendent's recommendation, do I hear a motion? Motion made by Dr. Hartman, seconded by Ms. McLean. Dr. Borchers.
This is a competitive grant, and if approved, it will purchase 4x8 CNC router, saws, planer, joiner, and 3D printers for our STEM and machine tool technology courses.
Comments or questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item H, FY25 IDEA Partnership for Systemic Change, K through 12 Grant Submission. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the FY25 IDEA Partnership for Systemic Change K-12 grant.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I hear a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. Agel. Dr. Borchers.
If funded, this grant would allow Oak Ridge schools to prioritize special education professional development for all school administrators. This would enhance our administrators' knowledge and skills around special education practices regarding discipline, least restrictive environment, transition, diploma pathways, etc.
Comments or questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item I, FY25 Consolidated Funding Grant. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the FY25 Consolidated Funding Grant.
Further recommendation, do I hear a motion? Motion made by Ms. McLean, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Dr. Borchers.
As you can see in the memo, and there's where some of these dollars, big dollars, are coming from, Ms. McLean, but it lays out what happens in Title I, II, III, and IV. IDEA B, and IDEA preschool.
Comments or questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item J, FY25 and FY26 Transition School to Work Grant. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of FY25 and FY26 Transition School to Work Grant.
Further recommendation? Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion made by Ms. Egel, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Dr. Borchers.
Just really, as it says there, just very excited about this grant, and just want to thank Mr. Stoltz and his team to get this two-year renewal. The total award for the grant is $345,168.81. The funds will be used to continue our program of having students with disabilities learn job skills both in the classroom and in the community in paid and unpaid employment. So this has been a wonderful addition, and just thankful again to Mr. Stoltz for winning this grant again.
Comments or questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item K, Oak Ridge High School Innovation Teacher Requirements for Additional Stipend. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of ORHS Innovation Teacher Requirements for Additional Stipend.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I hear a motion? Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. McLean. Dr. Borchers.
The board knows how impressive Wildcat Manufacturing is, and Dr. Buckner and what he has done in that classroom. We've had a lot of discussion this year on what happens if Dr. Buckner wasn't there and what happens to this program. So one of our first things we want to do is to make sure we can maintain this program. So getting a second instructor is critical. And in order to do so, we've been partnering with some local groups, businesses, to help raise funds for additional stipends so that we can lure an engineer from one of our nearby companies to take this position. So as you look at that job description, we're pretty much looking for another engineer to be in that position. But very excited. The program is probably there's probably nothing like it in the rest of the country, and we feel we need to take these steps to make sure we can keep it going.
Sorry, my computer's just telling me all kinds of things. Comments or questions? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item L, Oak Ridge Preschool Playground Equipment Repair. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the Oak Ridge Preschool Playground Equipment Repair by Great Southern Recreation in the amount of $42,950.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I hear a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Ms. McLean, seconded by Ms. Egel. Dr. Borchers.
And I know Ms. Donner's ready to get this approved, so those kiddos can use that playground again, but we had some winter damage there back from the storm in January. So this work will include removal and resetting of 2 support poles for the sail shade structure and repair of the turf place surface. Since this did happen because of the storm, Tennessee Risk Management, our insurance, will cover the cost of this.
Questions or comments?
Ms. Downard showed me pictures of the snow, and the snow on that shade just pulled almost to the ground and pulled those support poles out a little bit. So, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item M, purchase of HVAC unit for RMS gym. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the purchase of a 25-ton replacement HVAC unit for RMS Gym from Trane of Knoxville in the amount of $34,350.
Further recommendation, do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
I need a second from somebody. Motion made by Dr. Hartman, seconded by Ms. McLean. Dr. Borchers.
This will replace the current unit that provides cooling only, and it's at the end of its scheduled service life. The replacement unit will include fresh air capability, heating, and dehumidification.
Comments or questions? Ms. Engel.
As one who attended Robertsville when there was no air conditioning in the gym, this is a bargain.
And this, I would anticipate, would eliminate some of the condensation that was occurring on the floor
I would think it
later
would
on in
help.
the year.
Yeah, Ellen's unable to be here tonight, but I'm guessing that's going to help a lot in there.
I would think so, hopefully. Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item N, purchase of Dell laptops for RMS and JMS. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval for the purchase of 14 laptops for RMS and JMS to use with LiDAR 3D scanning equipment totaling $39,178.59 using funds from the Innovative Schools Model Grant.
For the superintendent's recommendation, do I hear a motion? Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. Agel. Dr. Borchers.
The board probably remembers this item, but due to an issue with the company originally approved at the January 9th meeting, we had to look for someone else to provide these computers, and Dell was able to do that with all the specs that were needed.
Comments or questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item O, purchase of student laptop case replacements. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the purchase of Bump Armor laptop cases from CDWG in the amount of $82,491.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval.
Motion made by Ms. Agel, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Dr. Borchers.
Just trying to purchase some better and newer laptop cases. This will replace all of our current cases except for fifth grade who were new last year.
Comments or questions? What's the average lifespan of the cases we've been using?
Doug's giving me the four fingers back there, so 4 years. Yeah, or 6 weeks.
Would that be the same with this new purchase? Doug's shaking his head.
Yeah, these are intended to be good for 5 years. That varies by student.
Thank you. Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item P, purchase of additional media center innovative furniture. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the purchase of additional Media Center innovative furniture from Workplace Interiors in the amount of $60,900.26 to complete the refresh of elementary media centers.
Further recommendation, do I hear a motion? Motion made by Dr. Hartman, seconded by Ms. McLean. Dr. Borchers.
This second refresh is going to include additional shelving to support the robust collections in each media center. And in addition to the shelving, media centers will receive soft seating and innovative student workspaces to foster collaboration and creativity.
Comments or questions? Having been in some of our libraries recently, they are really nice. Mm-hmm. Very
it's made a big difference.
Conducive for what a library is supposed to be conducive for. Mm-hmm. Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item Q, replacement of sidewalk at Glenwood Elementary School. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the sidewalk replacement at Glenwood Elementary School by Skilled Services LLC in the amount of $49,900.
Further recommendation, do I hear a motion? Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Dr. Borchers.
The board has approved different segments of this sidewalk project, but this will be the last one and is scheduled to be done over the summer.
Were we at a point at one time where we didn't think we were going to be able to do this, or did I dream that somewhere along the way?
I think we had this plan for, yeah, go ahead, Mr.
We actually had planned this summer to do the parking lot, and we're unable to repave that parking lot.
I guess that's what I was thinking.
Yes,
about.
sir, but we can finish phase 2 of the sidewalk.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item R, FY25 classroom fees. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the FY25 classroom fees.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I hear a motion? Motion made by Dr. Hartman, seconded by Ms. McLean. Dr. Borchers.
This is always a hard one to explain, so I'm going to read the blurb here and then we can have further conversation. State guidance on school fees allows schools to request but not require fees for activities and materials that impact students during the regular school day or that are part of the curriculum. Any request for fees must still be approved by the Board of Education. We're requesting that the attached fee list be approved as a requested but not required fee list for the Oak Ridge schools.
Comments? Sorry. Ms. Agel, you want to go ahead?
What percentage of these fees that are requested but not required are not paid?
Mr. Lay, we were anticipating this question.
Yes, we have not researched that in the last year or two, but I can tell you that we have not increased the funding in this line for the last couple of years. And yes, we spend every dime of that line item. But it seems to have maybe reached just somewhat of a standard now, and the percentage doesn't seem to be increasing, so if that makes sense.
I'm not sure it makes sense, but it's understandable, and perhaps that's a good omen. I don't know.
It is. Really, the electives we have at each school determine, really, in general, a lot of the fees. And so if you have, for instance, a pottery class, clay's expensive, so that is an expensive class to take. So we see a lot of requests for reimbursement classes such as that, but that really has not changed and has remained the same. So,
other questions or comments? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Now we move into some really exciting stuff. Item S is the JMS field trip to Williamsburg, Virginia. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the JMS field trip to Williamsburg, Virginia, September 27th through the 30th, 2024.
Further recommendation, do I hear a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Ms. McLean, seconded by Ms. Agel. Dr. Borchers.
I think the board and everyone knows just how amazing this Williamsburg field trip is. I know Mr. Brewer's here if we have any questions that he needs to answer.
Well, we just need to be remembered. How many years is this? 50 years they've been doing this. That's just amazing. And as we deal with these field trips, again, it's important to point out that these would not happen if there were not dedicated staff members who want to make this as part of the curriculum or opportunities that these students in many cases have earned. 50 years, that's amazing. Thank you. Any other questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item T is the Oak Ridge High School TSA field trip to Orlando, Florida. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the ORHS TSA National Competition Field Trip to Orlando, Florida.
Further recommendation, do I hear a motion?
Second?
Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. Agel. Dr. Borchers.
Looks like we have 10 students with Mr. Livesey's class going down June 26th and coming back June 30th.
Comments or questions? Several of us seated here on the board have had an opportunity to make these trips as our children and or students have been successful to do this. It's an outstanding opportunity for these kids to be able to do this. So please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item U, Oak Ridge High School Navy Junior ROTC field trip to Gainesville, Georgia. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the ORHS NJROTC field trip to Gainesville, Georgia to attend the Leadership Academy.
You've heard the recommendation. Do I hear a motion? Motion made by Dr. Hartman, seconded by Ms. McLean. Dr. Borchers.
Looks like 3 of our cadets will be going down. They leave June 8th, come back June 15th.
Comments or questions? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. You heard me mention earlier about our baseball team and our track team. Well, we're dealing with those 2 items next. So item V, Oak Ridge High School baseball field trip to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of ORHS baseball field trip to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to participate in the state tournament.
Do I hear a motion?
Second?
Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. Agel. Dr. Borchers.
First time, we all know, it's in 52 years that this is occurring, and some of us were able to go and see them get sent off today at 2 o'clock, and it was great to see so many kids and fans out there to send them off. So just a great thing, and congratulations to Coach Free and his team.
Absolutely, and we wish them great success. Other comments? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item W, Oak Ridge High School track field trip to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the ORHS track field trip to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to compete in the state track meet.
Do I hear a motion?
Move for approval?
Motion made by Ms. Agel, seconded by Dr. Hartman. Dr. Borchers.
Again, just congratulations to the coaches, the team members. They've had a great year. Number of students, I think we have 9 students going down to participate in the state track meet.
Comments? Please cast your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Item X, Oak Ridge High School Choral Ensemble field trip to Townsend, Tennessee. Dr. Borchers.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend approval of the ORHS Choral Ensemble field trip to Townsend, Tennessee.
For the superintendent's recommendation, do I hear a motion? Motion made by Ms. Webb, seconded by Ms. McLean.
Ms. Reagan's taken some of her leaders down to develop their leadership skills and to learn how to lead and become good choral singers.
I probably need to go on that field trip. Any comments or questions? Please cast your vote. All right, moving next to items for information. You have reviewed in your packet the FY25 Board of Education meeting calendar. Should have that information. Item B, financial report. Do we start the new budget tomorrow? No. Comments, any comments or questions there? And the moment we always look forward to, our enrollment and attendance report and presentations. Does this mean the people who win get to keep this until when? Next?
No, sir, we will have one more period because this is the 8th reporting period and we have 9.
So we got one more.
One more to go, sir.
And then they get to keep it for
The entire summer.
extended a month and a half.
Yes, the entire 7 weeks, okay.
Okay, let's
All
hear
right.
the news.
First of all, our attendance information, it continues to be positive. If you notice, all 4 elementaries and the 2 middle schools, and the high school is close, but basically their attendance for the 8th reporting period, all 6 of those elementary and middle schools were at that lowest level that we've ever recorded. So we had another excellent attendance month, and the high school was actually very close. So we once again did very well this past month. If you compare the 8th reporting period to the 9th reporting period of our previous school year, we are up 211 students. Our enrollment has increased by 211, so we continue to show growth. And now for the exciting moment of the board meeting, okay. All right, who will be doing the attendance trophy for students? Okay. Students, Mrs. McLean, all right. This is going to burn just a little bit because we have a person, they've held that trophy for how many months? About 3 months, okay. But once again, you still get an honorable mention. Basically, Linden Elementary had the 2nd best attendance for the 8th reporting period, but they also, just so you'll know for record, they won the elementary track meet this past week. And I know Mr. Hobby was greatly disappointed because he wanted to be in first place and he was in 2nd. But congratulations to Woodland Elementary. You had the best student attendance for the 8th reporting period. Okay. Okay, now looking at staff attendance. Jefferson Middle School receives an honorable mention for having the 2nd best staff attendance for the 8th reporting period. And once again, we love competition, you know, amongst our principals. Robertsville Middle School is the winner for the 8th reporting period. Congratulations, sir. Okay. I will further brag on our staff. We had 267 employees that had perfect attendance, and that represents 37.3% of our staff. And you get basically the latter part of April and May. That's pretty good. All right.
That's great.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We move next to items for discussion. Is there any old business or new business? Communications. I'd like to take just a moment and thank all the staff at Oak Ridge High School and our maintenance staff for making Friday's graduation happen. A little rain never hurt anything, and I think everybody had a good time as well. So it was a great occasion, followed up by graduation celebration. Ms. McLean said that it was a great event there as well. So please convey to all the high school staff our thanks for, it's not an easy task pulling that together. A lot of involvement, a lot of people having to make things happen. And again, our maintenance staff who's got to set all that up and then take it down. So we greatly appreciate that as well. We completed, the board did, all of our lunch visits. We had an opportunity to visit all the schools. We really had a good time. I can report back that without question, all of the students felt like the food was better than the previous year. We finished up at Woodland with pizza and ice cream. The conversation that we had with the students has been interesting, to say the least, but honest. And as I mentioned, I think at our last meeting, one of the things that we heard frequently was how much the teachers cared for the students. And boy, that's one thing that you want to hear for sure. To the math teachers, when we asked them what was their favorite subject, math was the leader across the board. That was their favorite subject. I will have to say, a young lady, and I don't know why, I've had this asked several times, I don't know why it is. A young lady at Glenwood, a second grader, I believe, looked at me and said, "How old are you?" And I said, "Well, what do you think?" And she looked at me and she said, 41. I said, "Absolutely, you're correct." But then we went to Willowbrook, and a young gentleman there looked at me again and said, "How old are you?" And I said, "What do you think?" And he looked at me and said, 61. So Glenwood is now my favorite place of all places. But we had a good time doing that. It was fun. The kids were great at every school we went to. And we appreciate the principals there taking care of us and getting us in there. Well, I looked at my sheet over here, and I usually have a list of reminders for June, but the only reminder is June 17th is our next board meeting. It will be the last one until August. Dr. Borchers, any final?
Just, we're holding on here, trying to keep things together. We've got our last day for students is May 29th, and last day for teachers May 30th. So it's been a great year, but busy time of the year, and we're going to finish up strong.
Any comments, final comments from the board? My computer tells me if I don't get through in 35 minutes, it's just going to shut down. So does Ms. McLean. So I think we made it under the wire. Thank each of you all for being here. We wish you a very safe and healthy summer and get through the remaining days of the school year. And thanks for those millions who are watching. And we stand adjourned.